What is your reaction to Trump's first month in office?
It feels like the world's getting ready to end.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean...
Feels like we've already lived through a year of hell.
Or do you think that people who aren't criminals are being deported? Is that what you're trying to say?
Correct, yes. Children are.
The federal government's only going to recognize 2 genders, male and female, and you are what you were born as. Is that good?
No.
How many genders are there?
I would consider there to be sort of 3 categories that I've typically heard people categorize themselves into. Typically male, female, or just neither.
We are back at the farmers market after Trump's been in office for a little bit over a month to check in with people and see how he's done so far. So let's go check in and see. What do you think? How has Trump done so far with being in office for a month?
I think his advancements, especially with Secretary Kennedy, have been outstanding. Yeah. I mean, it's all about HHS and reforming the health of the world. Let's start with just...
What are you eating?
Community. Dragon fruit.
All right. He's living it. You're walking and talking the talk, and you're living that life, aren't you?
Truly.
All right.
And we do the farmer's market, too, and we bring all the plants to the market that are medicinal, and we educate to how to use them.
Great.
So it's the first place to get healthy is the farmer's market.
Yeah, beautiful.
If you can start here, then you can enjoy yourself and the wellness that God's green earth has given us.
Absolutely. Thank you. What an intro. Let's roll the tape. President Trump's first month in office.
Complete garbage. Dog shit. Some of the worst things I've seen out of an administration, period.
Okay. What are some of the things that you've seen that are the worst out of any administration?
I mean, the clown show that happened yesterday at with Zelensky visiting the White House. It's like, that's just not a proper way to talk to a wartime leader whose people are suffering under a regime that is starting to take all their resources. You know, like, we shouldn't be cozying up to dictators like Putin, like, at all. That's the main thing. And I also don't like his plans on turning Gaza into a giant real estate project. That's in poor taste too. You don't genocide a people and then make a resort out of it. That's disgusting.
Well, to be fair, he didn't say we were gonna kill all of them. We were gonna take them to somewhere safe in places like Egypt. So to be fair, just to correct that, he did not say we were going to kill them.
No, he didn't. But I have a feeling he doesn't care what happens to them.
Okay.
You know, put them somewhere where I don't have to think about them. So,
what's your reaction to what he's done in the past month?
A little overwhelmed, but I'm willing to see where it goes.
Okay. What grade would you give him so far?
70.
So a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Close to his age, right? 17. Okay, what's been the best thing he's done so far?
Honestly, could not tell you.
What's been the worst thing he's done so far?
He's deported a lot of people, which I think there's both good and bad to it, but I think that he made a lot of promises about their criminal record that he hasn't upheld.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or do you think that people who aren't criminals are being deported? Is that what you're trying to say?
Correct, yes. Children are. They're going into schools and they're deporting them as well.
I think what you're talking about is actually the FBI going in. And it had nothing to do with deportations or anything. I think that was the FBI. That wasn't ICE agents going into the schools. I think we're thinking about the same thing.
Yeah, no, they're still putting them in places that they are not treating them as children.
Okay, what are they treating them as?
Adults. They're telling them to fend for themselves, taking them away from their parents, and it's just not.
So I don't believe that that's happening. I think maybe you may have come across some fake news, but there's no children that are just being picked up for no reason and being told with no supervision, like, to go anywhere.
Okay. What's your news source? I'm just curious.
So my news source is the Trump administration themselves. If you watch the daily press briefings, they tell you, they actually correct these claims that there's no children just being picked up out of schools and being deported, being ripped away from their families and being deported. That's not happening.
I'm willing to look into it.
Yeah, I would definitely watch Caroline Levitt's press briefing. She actually dispels a lot of that stuff.
I get a lot of my news from AP, which is non-for-profit, so I like that because it's a more non-biased news source.
Okay.
But I'm willing to look into other points of view.
Anything good?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't keep up.
No. Well, he made an executive order saying that men can't be women, and we're not gonna recognize more than two genders, man and woman.
Okay.
That's good, right?
I mean, whatever, man.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What are you? Are you a man or a woman?
I'm at the farmer's market.
Yeah. Are you a man?
I'm at the farmer's market.
You're a man at the farmer's market?
I'm just chilling, man.
Are you a chillin' woman at the farmer's market?
Just at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a woman.
That's great.
Yeah. Would you be able to tell that?
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
God bless, though.
Yeah, God bless you. Trump's been in office for a little over a month now. What is your reaction to his job so far?
I personally don't really align with many of the things that he's doing and the changes that he's making. But I know that it's the decision of the American people and the democracy system that we have in America for him to be the president. So I respect that. And yeah, I just don't really agree with him, but
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
This one's not political at all.
Oh, no.
A lot's happened fast. Yeah.
He's been very, very busy. Yes. Well, since you don't agree with him, you're probably more left-leaning than right-leaning.
I would say
Is there
so.
anything he's done that's been good in your eyes since you're not on the same political spectrum? For political side, I should say.
I try not to only see the bad in people, but I think he makes it very difficult to see the good. Yeah, there hasn't really been anything that I've been agreeing with yet, so we'll see.
What about deporting criminals? And getting criminals first out of the country that are illegal, like rapists and murderers and sexual abusers?
I don't like using the word illegal for human beings.
Okay,
That's just
so
my-
deporting undocumented individuals who have not been vetted into the country. People
know
with
that-
criminal records like murderers, rapists, sexual, abusers and stuff like that. Do you think they should? Is that something good he's done? Is getting them out of our country?
I don't think it's, I just don't really agree with any of the terminology that you're using, so I'm not gonna.
How would you use that? How would you fix my terminology talking about rapists?
I think that there are plenty of horrible people that are legal in this country that need to be dealt with, so yeah.
Do you think that we should, for the sake of political correctness, what would you call them if they cross the border undocumented and they're unvetted and they're not in our system? What would you call them?
I think undocumented is a fair term, but I think that the process to becoming a documented citizen is very complicated, and I think that a lot of natural-born citizens wouldn't be able to successfully go through that process. So I think
So now that we've got the term that you're okay with, empathy. So undocumented individuals who are murderers and rapists, and they commit crime, and they have got drug charges behind them. Do you think they should be deported because they are not American citizens?
if they've committed crimes, then I think they should be charged for those crimes.
And deported?
I don't know the process for that, but maybe.
Well, Trump is deporting them back to their countries. Is that good?
That's fine.
So he has done something good.
Yay!
Yeah, okay, great. All right, I changed your mind. We've got a Trump supporter here. No, I'm kidding. But he has done something good. That's great. That's great. What is your reaction to Trump's first month in office?
It feels like the world's getting ready to end.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Feels like we've already lived through a year of hell.
yeah.
Just in one short month, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
What is scaring you so much within the past month that he's done?
All the government employees being let go. It's a bunch of people out of jobs, so what are they going to do?
Yeah. I think just the executive orders that he's passing, like the things he's trying to change and the rate at which he's passing them, it's just like an overturn of something new every single day. Every single day. It's literally.
Right.
Every time you turn on the news, it's something new. So.
We're talking about the federal workers that have been fired. A lot of people on the other side have said, well, what about all the people under COVID, under Biden that got fired? Did you have any ill feelings about that? Or did that worry you of all the people that were getting fired if they didn't take the COVID vaccine?
Yeah, it did worry me. I personally didn't feel like that's something they should be able to mandate for everybody. I feel like if you want to take the vaccine, that's a personal opinion. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, both of them worry me.
Yeah, both of them worry you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, good. Glad to see the consistency. And what executive order would you say worries you the most?
Woo! Okay, I think the more recent one for me would be him trying to turn over like birthright citizenship and everything. I feel like that's having a huge impact on us right now, and it's scary. And it might not directly affect you, but it can affect your friends. It can affect maybe a relative, a distant relative that you didn't know about. I think right now that's probably the most prominent one for me at the moment.
Your reaction on Trump's first month that he's been president?
Trying to think of how to respond. Disappointing, I think, is a good word to put it fairly. I'm a fan of people being able to love who they love and live their life as they deem is normal and right, and I don't feel like that's the best way our country's going right now. But disappointed, to put it simple. Yeah.
Do you think Trump has done anything to go against, I guess you're talking about gay marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has he done anything against gay marriage?
Not necessarily against gay marriage, but I think trans rights is what's under attack right now. And I think that's really important to recognize those individuals as people that deserve the same treatment as everyone else, as a cis person, a trans person, vice versa. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen. I'm not going to claim to know politics super well, but I love my friends and my family that are that way and that live that kind of lifestyle, and I feel like their rights are being questioned.
How are their rights being questioned or taken away?
I think the biggest thing I've seen recently is pronouns being something that are no longer being used in schools, not being kids who may be questioning or may know for sure that they are who they are, and them not being able to use their appropriate pronouns, depending on teaching staff, leadership, different things. I've seen companies take their gender identities off their emails and things like that to be more acceptive, and I just think it's going in the wrong direction as opposed to the right direction that we may have been going a couple of years ago.
What does pronouns on an email signature or a teacher's using her pronouns in the classroom have anything to do with trans people's rights?
I think they're allowed to identify how they want to, and I think not allowing those pronouns to be super obvious and upfront with under confusion. I think I deserve to be respected as being Miss or Mrs., and just like they deserve respect to being whatever gender they may not.
Well, Miss or Mrs. is letting people know if you're married or not. You know,
right?
So, do we all have the right to tell people? I mean, do we have the right to just flamboyantly go out there and tell people what they should call us? Do we have the right to tell people how they should call us or our pronouns? Because that's not a right. Rights are like, Second Amendment right,
sure,
right to life, right to free speech. And I personally, and I want you to correct me, I haven't seen any rights being taken away from any person who is identifying as trans. And if you could correct me, because I would, be against that. So I don't know what concrete rights are being taken away from them.
Sure, yeah. And again, I don't claim to know everything about everything. I just hear what I see and what my personal exposure is.
Yeah.
And maybe rights is the worst word. Maybe freedoms to express themselves is maybe a better word. Just feeling like you can still be professional and put your gender identity on your email thread, or you can still be in school and
bosses and companies have the right to tell their employees that they can't do that, right?
Yeah, totally. Just like they have the right to tell me I can't wear jeans in the office, right? So, and I get it. I just wish there was a more, instead of it feeling like these things are so controlled, it could just be as it is.
He also made an executive order that, the federal government's only going to recognize two genders, male and female, and you are what you were born as. Is that good?
No.
Okay. Why is that one not good?
I agree that there are two sexes that you are assigned at birth, but I don't necessarily agree that gender is as cut and dry.
Okay.
So I think that people should just do the things, if they're not harming other people, they should do the things that make them feel more happy and confident in themselves and their identity.
How many genders are there?
I would consider there to be sort of three categories that I've typically heard people categorize themselves into. Typically male, female, or just neither, or in between. And I think that it's difficult for me to understand sometimes, but I think that doesn't necessarily negate that that's their mindset and what makes them happy. So
for sure. All right, you have any opinions? How many genders are there? I don't have any opinions.
Yeah, we're pretty different on that front, but
Are you more like right-leaning? I don't know. No. I want your uncensored reaction to Trump's first month in office.
Okay.
Unhinged.
I think it was way more extreme than I thought it would be. Like his first
100%.
month was it just seems, and maybe it's just because like on media everything's really polarized, so like you're kind of given the most extremes on either end of the spectrum. But I can't say I'm not like. I mean, I am pretty disappointed in a lot of things that have been said or done, but I'm really hopeful because my hope isn't in who's president of our country.
Yeah.
My hope is in the Lord, so that's my takeaway. But as a citizen, I can be disappointed in some of the rhetoric around like people made in the image of God or things like that. But
Yeah. How would you grade him? How has he done?
That is a nightmare.
Nightmare.
He's doing some good things, but he's also got some messed up stuff that I've heard that I just do not agree with. And like, I like Trump, but he's kind of like an overgrown child that when he doesn't get his way, he throws a little temper tantrum.
Okay.
That's what he reminds me of. I know he's trying to do good, but I've read somewhere he's trying to take over Canada. Like, rarely leave the Canadians alone. Okay, like leave them alone. We don't need Canadians.
Right. I personally don't want them to be part of the United States,
Yeah.
so I'm good with that, right?
Yeah, I'm good. Like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Some things he's doing is just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid,
Yeah.
but he's
What do you
doing some
think?
good things.
I mean, like,
You don't know? You're so funny.
Yeah, he gets a C.
She loves
What do you
Trump.
think? Oh, you love Trump.
She loves Trump.
I am a Trump supporter.
Good.
I don't think he's perfect, but he's definitely better than a lot of the other evils out there.
He is.
I think he does do more for us than Biden has done. I think he's done more to correct things in the last month than what Biden did in 4 years of screwing everything up. Because I don't know how other people feel, but I know my life, as far as groceries and everything, was far better before Trump, before Biden. Biden just made everything worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm another one. I don't agree with everything he does, but he's far better than what we were dealing with before.
Absolutely. All right.
Better than Biden, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thank God Biden's gone.
Trump's been in office for a month now, a little over a month. What is your reaction to the job he's done so far?
Speechless.
Speechless. In a good way?
In a bad way, but my beliefs is, you pray for those who are in authority over you, so I just pray for them.
Which would be troubling if they were going into schools and then just deporting children without their parents, right?
Oh, yeah, because parents need to know where their children are going.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. So there are a lot of illegal immigrants that are actually they're not illegal yet. They actually take children from places like Mexico and El Salvador, and they put them across the border by themselves, and they were being trafficked across the border. So there's an instance where children are crossing the border without their parents because they've been kidnapped and abducted and trafficked across the border, which that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. All right. Has he done anything else good, or because the border? I think that's a good thing, right? Deporting criminals.
That's up to interpretation, I believe.
Do you think that people who rape and murder women and children in this country who are Mexican citizens, they're here illegally, do you think they should be deported?
I think that we need to look on a case-by-case basis, and we can't deport a whole group of people based
criminals. That's the group of people we're deporting, criminals.
Yes, but we're seeing that that's not necessarily the case. Like, in terms of everyone, I mean, a lot of these people are just people trying to make money for their families. And it's unfortunate that the system is built in a way where it's hard for them to get citizenship in time for them to support their families. I wish that there's a way where they could do it better. Yeah.
Yeah, we wish they didn't have to feel that they need to come here to have a better life.
Because either way, it's both options are difficult, and both of them are going to have a negative impact.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely negative impact when someone comes into a country illegally, unvetted. Like, we don't know who these people are. But the Trump administration is focusing purely on criminals first. And then later on, yeah, everybody who's here illegally, even just crossing the border, doing no further crimes, will be deported.
I just moved here. Like, honestly, I thought he was doing okay. Like, in the beginning, I'm not sure about what's going on right now.
Okay.
And I'm kind of conflicted because I hated what was going on the last presidential conflicts, like everything, and like this one, it seems like we're both going into like bad directions in either way. And I was like, oh, it's gonna get better. It just got worse. Okay. And I was really hoping for some promises and stuff like that, like a little bit of money going down on certain things, and I still have not seen that. And
you mean like in the economy? You wanted things to come out
like that, where stuff was high when Biden was in. And I was just like, oh my god! And then like Trump's in, I was like, he'll probably do something, and I have not seen a lot of that. Okay. And I really hope some of that changes, but
maybe he needs a little bit more than a month.
Maybe a little bit more. Just I'm kind of getting newer into the politics and stuff like that. I'm starting to pay attention more, and so far it's not good for me.
What's your favorite thing he's done?
My favorite things he's done. I think I appreciate how he kind of stood by what he said he was gonna do. You know, he said this is what I was gonna do, and he did it. You know, so I do he wasn't hiding who he was. So
transparency, right?
Yeah. He did what he said he would do with immigration and other things. So you know, I do appreciate that.
Yeah. Is it what you wanted? Do you think what he's doing with immigration is good?
There's aspects of it. I think we do need to be more strict on our immigration, but they're also our people, you know, so we need to be, you know, treating people as humans, as they deserve. And so there's some things in that regards, I don't appreciate, you know, as a teacher, you know, as a Christian, getting rid of, you know, the protection that people can feel in church and at school. But I do think it's important to have security in our country.
Yeah. What do you think about the type of people he's deported so far? Do you know, who? What type? The criminals. People who have been convicted of rape or have been charged with rape and murder and stuff?
So, when you look at the, so this is where, the media comes in and is really significant. I think the decision that the White House has made to keep certain media outlets out of the White House and unable to report on what's happening and about the White House's decisions is, to me, a really concerning thing to do. And because what it does is it skews the narrative of who's being deported. For example, so if you look at what's been happening of these immigrants that have come into our country and now are being deported to Guantanamo, I mean, there's a lot of evidence that's coming out right now that a lot of those people aren't committing crimes sans the one of coming into our country illegally.
Okay.
And so they are adding to our local economies and doing good work. And so the things that we generally, I would say, are well, we want those people in our country, but we don't want these people. And so when we have these...
I don't want anyone, I don't want anyone in the country who's not going to be first vetted and then looked into and not a citizen. I don't want anyone in the country who's not going to be vetted first. So if they're coming over and they're just working and whatever, okay, fine, but we don't know their background. And so that's, I think, what the other side, I'm on this other side, it's what I say. I'm on the other side, it's me. Yeah, so I would say, yeah, they're just working and whatever. That's great. You can come and work, but we need to know your background. We need to know where you're coming from, and we need to be able to contact you and be able to trace you being in our country. Mm-hmm. So I think, if you're going to break those laws, not for a nefarious reason beyond that, yeah. So I think he's giving me the signal that we gotta go. Right. I don't know. Maybe you gave me a signal. I don't know. We have babies at home. We gotta go back to. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for sharing.
Yes.
All right. We will come back after the advertise. Let's give a break for advertise for a minute.
All right, you can go to patreon.com/Caitlin Bennett to support my work. Even $5 a month helps me come out here, keep filming, hire security when we need it. Farmers markets are okay. But in protests, which I will be going to soon, you can help donate. All right, the advertisement's over.
No, wait. 1 minute. No, yeah.